Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Six Morning Show. I'm Tony T. We're with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving live free picks for today's card. And today's show, well, a lot to go going on in college football. 47 games, FBS versus FBS competition. We'll do 4 blocks there. Try to put 10 to 12 per games there per block. And, of course, Major League Baseball continues. It's a 16-game card. Important doubleheader as the Twins and Guardians go head-to-head. Again, though, we have some pretty big divisional battles there. Also, Mariners and Houston, a relevant game as well. So some important games still to go here as we're down to our last 2 weekends of Major League Baseball. And WNBA with a day off today, but they're back in here tomorrow. So lots going on here on the sports landscape. So let's say hello to Chris. Chris, what's happening?
Oh, not much. Coming off of a 1-1-1 day there. Got the push there with the Cleveland going under 8. They got right at it. And, yes, we got that. And then Tampa Bay just couldn't hold on there for whatever reason. But anyway, yes, a pretty decent day there. 5 on the hit list. So good day there. Just ready to get to it.
Yeah, ready to get to it as well. 1-1 day for me. I went light on baseball again. This time of the year, September baseball, you're not always going to get the best lines. You got living versus dead angles. And, of course, a lot of pitching matchups there that you're using a lot of call-ups. So look to bounce back here today on the baseball side. I had just missed the Brewers, but I did have that Iowa game, which that game was back. If I knew Rutgers' defense has digressed completely, they're no longer that grinding team. We saw that in that first game against Ohio, and it doesn't seem to be able to get that defense fixed. I'm not a big fan of Kalkmanis. He's not a very accurate quarterback, but Iowa was able to get through. I stayed away. I'm glad I stayed away on premium side on that Okie State. There is problems with that. You can't lose to Tulsa like that. That was just a bad showing altogether. Depressing in Stillwater there, no doubt. All right, let's get to the games here. We'll start here with college football as we're ready to roll down here. Let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm going to try and get my live odds screen up here. Hopefully we get this through without any hitch here. All right, so let's do our first block of games. We'll do the nooners all the way to the Oregon State game. So noon and 12:45 Eastern time. So in this block, we're going to cover North Texas Army, SMU, TCU, a big one there. We're seeing TCU 6.5, 7 total, 63.5. This line really hasn't moved much since the opener. You saw the opener of 5 there. So the money is coming to TCU, so you can find 7s or 7.5s there. UNLV Miami, this one has moved. UNLV opened 3.5. This one's now sitting at 2.5. We're seeing 1.5. Pinnacle has it 1.5 there. So the Sharps really like that home dog there. UNLV Miami. We'll cover also Bowling Green, Louisville, Syracuse, Clemson. You can see that one sit about 17. Maryland, Wisconsin, the quarterback situation there. Billy Edwards still listed here on the Spank odds screen as questionable for Billy Edwards. Questionable there, the quarterback situation. Texas Tech, Utah, another monster game here. Utah, well, they opened 4.5 down to 3.5, total 58. Arkansas, Memphis, a pretty good clash there. We're seeing here that Arkansas is 6.5, 7 road favorite, total 61. We'll end the block here with UAB and Tennessee. This is a blowout game here. Can Tennessee put up 100 on this bad defense? They probably could if they wanted to. But anyway, Tennessee 39.5, total 68.5. We start there with Chris.
Yeah, going right to the Arkansas-Memphis game there. Good look at the total there, 61.5. I know it seems like a lot, but both these offenses can put it up today. So I think we get some points early in this one here from both of them and just get up and over that 61. Like I said, I know it's a big number there, but we'll go there. And then I'm going to take the points with UAB against Tennessee. I don't know. They could blow them out. They have the possibility to do it. Nothing against Tennessee. We saw what they hung in there with Georgia and everything, but I just don't know if it's going to be a game they care about. So I'd rather have the points with UAB there because, they're potentially going to score something, so they're just going to have to keep pushing it. But I take the points there. And then looking at this SMU TCU that I looked at here, not too much on it, but I would take, since we're at 6.5, I would take TCU to cover that one and do that. So let me make sure I have anything else in the SEC. No, I think those are only 2 in the SEC for that time block for me.
All right, there from Chris. Say what I think about these games. Yeah, I like TCU here. This SMU defense is not really showing much consistency whatsoever. Also, the offense side, SMU came up 320 yards passing per game. TCU has been running the ball effectively, 6 yards a carry, 9.3 yards per pass. Have been really good defensive performance. The SMU 0-6 to the spread on the road in the non-conference. I can only look at TCU in that game. I'm going to go under here with Army in North Texas. I think Army's style of play can slow down this North Texas team and just keep North Texas on the sideline. I think they did that to Kansas State not too long ago, or Kansas State, where Kansas State just couldn't get on the field. So I look for the same type of situation here against these really high passing teams. Army 3-1 to the under at home, facing teams that average 250 yards passing per game or greater. So what they do is it's all about ball possession here with Army. Remember, the clock continues to run after first downs. They don't stop the clock. So that clock just going to tick, tick, tick. So I like the under in that one. And I'll take the plus points here with Memphis. That was an impressive performance by Memphis against that improved Troy team last week, holding teams 2.5 yards a carry, 5.7 yards per pass attempt. I look for Memphis to be competitive in this game. I'm not saying they can win it, but I think they could be very competitive. Going to stay away with that quarterback situation in Maryland. There's still a lot of question mark with Maryland, who they are with the quarterback change, so I'll stay away from that one. Yeah, I'm going to get suckered in and take UNLV. I just think they're the better program. I think Mullen's got them, will have them at a high level there. I like the way they looked at in that game at Sam Houston State. Rebels here, 7-2 on the road as a road favorite. Miami O is a home dog the past 2+ seasons, 0-2 the spread. So I'll look at UNLV there and lay that short number. Let's see if there's anything else I like in that block. I think Texas Tech just has too much offense here. I don't trust Utah when they spread out that defense. That's when I get worried about Utah when they play the spread defenses. I've just seen it so many times over this the coach of Casey, but these teams have trouble when they spread them out a little bit. I think they'll be able to get some passing yards on them. Matter of fact, Utah 3-4 to the spread at home when they face teams that average 250 yards passing or greater. So these high octane passing teams give Utah fits. So I'll take a Tech there in that one. And let's see what else we have in this block. That's what I have in this block. All right, let's continue here on the Tony X Morning Show as we'll continue on here with college football as we get on to the next games here on this 47-game card. Yes, there are 47 games today. So let's get to it here. In this block, we're going to cover Oregon State. Well, we call this a civil war. Maybe it's a civil battle now. The way that was happening to Oregon State and Washington State since leaving the Pac-12. But anyway, we'll cover Oregon State, Oregon, Louisiana here in Eastern Michigan. That's an ugly one. By the way, Oregon 33.5, coming down from 35. Oregon has Penn State next week. So I'm hearing people. I think that's why you're seeing a little money here coming on Oregon State because of the scheduling spot. North Carolina and Central Florida. We'll see if Belichick's got a tough game here with UCF 7, total 46.5. We have a lot of 3:30 games here. We got Kent and Florida State. Look at this, almost 45.5 now in that one. Toledo, Western Michigan, Troy and Buffalo. There's question marks here about Goose Cowder. He's out, and the running back Trey Cooley out. So it'll be a backup quarterback for Troy as they go into Buffalo today, and Buffalo will be a 5.5-point favorite, down from 7.5 in that one. Auburn and Oklahoma, the big one here. We see Oklahoma 7, total 47 in that one. Tulane and Ole Miss. Well, there's some news in this game. We got Ole Miss here, 12, 11.5. But the question here is Trinidad Chambliss will get the start at quarterback. Austin Simmons, as you can see here on the Spank Odds injury list, shows a doubtful with the ankle. So it looks like Trinidad Chambliss will get the start here for Ole Miss there due to injury to Simmons with the ankle. Doubtful there. Ball State, UConn. Michigan and Nebraska will have in this block. Purdue and Notre Dame, Madison and Liberty, and that's where we'll stop. We'll stop it there, and we'll get this block underway here with. Let me get to my screen here. We'll start the block here with Chris.
Okay. So how far? So we got the 3:30s. Do we have anything in the? Do we go up to the 4:15 with?
No, we don't. We don't touch the fours. We don't touch the fours.
Yeah, because I got stuff in that one too. So we'll just talk about these. Auburn, Oklahoma, 46.5, 47, depending on where we're at there. I want to take over. I think both these guys can get up for this and get us up and over this total here as well. I like a lot of offense in this one. With the news for my Rebels here, I mean, Chambliss had a great he came in after we lost 2 quarterbacks back-to-back there. So he's our redshirt freshman there. Did really good, but, having to start and do everything like that, I would still lean possibly Tulane. I'm not going to bet it. Like I tell you guys every day that we're on this, I try to watch these and enjoy them more so than bet them. But I think Tulane with the points at this point, just to see what Chambliss does and starts, because he kind of came into that one late last time. We'll have to see how he does. I'm really impressed with him. He actually did, in my opinion, better than Arch Manning previously last Saturday. But anyway, so we'll see how he does. But I'd rather take the points with Tulane there. And then, I'm going to lay it with UCF. I just don't like this North Carolina team and Belichick. there. So I'd rather just take UCF to cover this at home.
There from Chris. Tell you what I think here about this games in this block here. Yeah, I agree with Chris. I'm going to go ahead and take UCF here. UCF getting pretty good quarterback play from Jackson, Indiana transfer. North Carolina, I just don't trust Gio Lopez at quarterback. Just don't think he's a good quarterback. And they've been very poor on. They're only covering a third of their third downs. 33% third down conversion rate. That's not good in college football. Knights are 5-1 of the spread in the home conference. I'll lay it there with UCF in that one. What else we have here in this block? I'm not going to touch that Troy game. Let's see here. I'll take the points with Auburn. Auburn's been running the football effectively, averaging almost 6 yards a carry, defensively holding teams to 2 yards per rush, 4.5 yards per pass attempt. The Sooners' rushing game is I'm not a fan of Auburn. They have that true road win at Baylor here. Not a really fan of Jackson Arnold here in a big spot like this. Just don't think he's an effective quarterback. So I'll look at Auburn in that spot. And then, I'll go ahead and take Nebraska here. They have, when you look here at this Michigan team, actually, weak competition has really ballooned stats for both teams. But Wolverine's lone road game, they're inefficient passing the football, allowed 408 yards to Oklahoma. Freshman quarterback Underwood just 5.9 yards per pass attempt at Oklahoma and completed only 37% of his passes. So based on quarterback play, I'll take Raiola here with Nebraska over Underwood here. I think Nebraska's on the right path here. I'll take them in this spot in that one. I like Tulane, but I just don't like the number, right? I mean, you go back, what was this number at earlier here? You're still getting 12. You can find a 12. I'll be on the Tulane side in that one, no doubt. I'll take them in that spot here. Tulane holding teams to 6.5 yards per pass attempt. And really the concern for me with Ole Miss is their rush defense here, giving 5.5 yards a carry. Their pass defense struggled last week. Russ Love's an experienced quarterback, and Ole Miss utilizing the first-year starter. I'll look at Tulane there in that spot. And so not going to stay away from – well, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to look at Notre Dame and Purdue to go over a total of 54. I like what I saw from Purdue able to move the football last week against USC. They are just basically a one-dimensional team, but they are going to get some passing yards on them. They're averaging 9 yards per pass attempt. Notre Dame's ground attack is not dominant this year, just 3 yards to carry on the ground. I think they love that ball control, but they're not getting it. But they've been very efficient in the passing game. Both defenses having trouble here against the pass. Notre Dame 9-4, the over as a home favorite. I like the over in that spot there. Let's see what else do we have in the 3:30 games here. Boy, I don't want to lay there with James Madison. Let's see what else we've got here, and that's the spot. That's all I got in this block. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Six Morning Show as we move on over to the next series of games here. We'll get the block up ready to roll here. Let's see what I've got here on the screen here. Let's continue here on the Tony Six Morning Show. Let's get to the next block of games here. And in this block, the games that we're going to cover here, we'll start the 4 Eastern time games here with NC State and Duke. And in this one, we see Duke here laying about 3, a total 56.5. That one's going to come up. North Illinois, Mississippi State here, 23.5, total 48.5. Temple here and Georgia Tech. We're seeing Georgia Tech 24.5. The total coming in at 52. West Virginia and Kansas here. Kansas is going to be laying some points here. 13. We see 12.5, total 54.5. Arkansas State, Kennesaw State, Delaware, FIU, Coastal and South Alabama, South Carolina and Missouri. News in this one here and on the Spank Odds injury report, we're seeing Lenora Sellers probable coming back from that concussion. So probable for Lenora Sellers, it's the quarterback for South Carolina. Total 10 points, total 48.5. Nevada and Western Kentucky. Good one in the Mountain West here. Boise State and Air Force. Air Force looking to bounce back after that loss. We're seeing here Boise State here. The favorite on the road, 11. Total sits here, 52. And then we'll end the block. We'll end the block with Marshall and Middle Tennessee State. And in this one, we've got Marshall favorite on the road here. So in this block, we're going to cover 4 o'clock and include the 7 o'clock. We'll stop at the 7 o'clock games in this block. So we'll get this one underway with Chris.
Okay, let's see. We'll stop there. Looking at Northern Illinois, Mississippi State. Once again, take another total here. I think it's up to 48.5, but I think Mississippi State could wholeheartedly chip in 75% of that, if not more than that. We've seen what these guys have done so far this season. So I would take the over 48.5 there. I think we see a lot of points. They could run it up on Northern Illinois in that one. South Carolina, Missouri, especially with that news there. I'd rather just have 10's not a key number I like there. I'd rather have the 9.5 or whatever, but I get it. But I still take Missouri there at home in this matchup here, especially with the news him coming back from that concussion and things of that nature. But still give me Missouri in that one. So I've got a couple of 7:30, so we'll skip those for now. Let's see what else we got. I think that's the only two I've got there for the SEC, Tony.
All right, there you go from Chris. Tell you what, here I think about these games here. Yeah, I'm going to go over here. NC State and Duke. Both teams getting really good offensive performances. Quarterback play has been accurate and efficient on both sides, but the pass defense for both teams, not a big fan of. Duke is running for almost 5 yards a carry here, and Blue Devils here, I'm struggling with the pass defense. As we said, NC State 5-1 in the over as a road dog. I like the over in that one. Let's see what else we have here that I look at. I don't want to touch some of these blowout games. Let's see what else I was looking at here. Well, I'll lay it with Kansas. I'm not a big fan of this West Virginia team. They were held at 10 points at Ohio. They're going on the road here. Kansas getting really good quarterback play, 70% completions, 9 yards for pass attempt. Jayhawks are playing really good defense here, holding teams to 3.5 yards a carry. Kansas 6-3 of the spread at home. I'll go ahead and lay it there with Kansas. What else are we looking at here at this? We're going to stop at that 7 Eastern game. Those are the ones that I have over in that block. Let me just double check something here real quick. What are we going to stop here at the 7s? Okay, we're going to include the 7 Eastern games here. So what else am I looking at here? I like the over here with Air Force and Boise State. Air Force is running for 5 yards a carry, but their pass defense has been very poor. Boise State, a pretty good running team, 6 yards a carry, and they're moving the football through the air. Broncos here, 9-5 the over on the road, and Air Force 4-1 the over at home, following a road game. I like the over there with Boise State and Air Force. Let's see what else do we have. That's the 7:30 games. All right, so let's continue here on the Tony Nixon Morning Show as we continue here with our college football coverage as we get on to the next block of games here. Hang on one second. What did I do? All right, let's get to the screen here so we can get to the odds. Put the odds back up for you guys here. So we move into the next block of games, and the ones we're going to have here will be. Let me take that off the screen out of there here. That'll help. All right, let's get to the games here for the next block. So in this block, we're going to have BYU and East Carolina. We can see East Carolina, the dog here. BYU favored in this one by 6.5. The total coming in here at 49.5. We'll cover Florida and Miami, the big one here. This one, we got Miami here favored 7.5, total 50.5. Illinois and Indiana, another big one in the Big Ten. Indiana 7 now, for total 52.5. Arizona State and Baylor. Looks like Baylor will be the favorite here in this one. 2.5, total 60.5. Stanford and Virginia. Virginia going to lay 16.5, total 49.5. We'll cover Southern Miss. La Tech, the Civil Battle. The Apple Cup. The Apple Battle now. They're Washington State there. Washington laying a bundle in that game. And then we got, what else do we have? Actually, we're going to close it out in this spot. Yeah, we're going to close it out in this one. Okay, so we're going to close out the games in this block here. Georgia State, Vanderbilt, Sam Houston, and Texas here. And we got UTEP game. Looks like UTEP's got an issue with their running back there, Cam Thomas, and their run-heavy team. So Cam Thomas from UTEP will be injured there. And we'll also cover UTSA, Colorado State, Wyoming, Colorado. In there, Cal, San Diego State, Michigan State, USC. And the late one here, Fresno State and Hawaii. There's news in the Fresno State Hawaii game as we're looking at Micah Alejado, the quarterback for Hawaii. Looks like he'll go. He's probable now, upgraded probable. Micah Alejado probable for Hawaii. So we're going over to Chris. We'll close out the card.
Okay. So probably blowout game here if we're looking at it. Vanderbilt, Georgia State, 27.5. Vanderbilt can get it done. Probably leave that alone. That's probably going to be a blowout game. So I just wouldn't even touch that. Not touching the LSU game either. 44.5. That's just crazy. Southern Louisiana there. Gonna look at this Sam Houston, Texas though. Like I've been saying so far this season here, I'm going to take the points with Sam Houston. I just don't trust Texas to be able to cover 40 points with Arch Manning and things of that nature and his issues, whatever. Could go for another Arch Manning interception today. I give you guys that every Saturday that I'm here. Seems like Miami, Florida, that line has dropped from my knowledge there. Had 9.5. Now we're looking at 7.5. I still take Miami, Florida to do it, to cover there with the 7.5. You can grab that, get that one. BYU, East Carolina. You guys know East Carolina is one of my teams. I'm going to take I'll tell you how it's been said before by Solo there. You guys can take the points. I'm gonna take the money line. I think East Carolina not only cover can get it within that number, but I think there could be an upset at home against BYU. I mean, East Carolina's 3-0 covering the spread there against non-conference. So give me the money line with East Carolina in that one. You guys can take the points. Looking at the Wyoming, Colorado, 12.5, I think is what we're sitting at here, if I'm not mistaken. I'd rather have the 12.5 points with Wyoming in that one. I just trust them to cover a little bit better against non-conference than Colorado, who's about a 50-50 ATS team in that one. So we'll take the 12.5 with Wyoming.
There we go here from Chris. Tell you what I think about some of these games here. I'm going to go ahead and take the points here with Illinois. Indiana's just played a weak schedule. I think when you play these cupcakes and you play too many of them, I think it impacts you when you step up in competition. And I think that's going to impact Indiana here. I'm going to take Illinois here plus the 6. When you look at Illinois, they were really impressive at that game in Duke, and they're holding teams to just less than 3 yards to carry, 6.3 yards per pass attempt. As a road dog, Illinois 7-2 there to the spread. I'll take Illinois in that spot. I like the over at Stanford. I like over in every Virginia game. I like the over there with Stanford and Virginia. You know, Virginia utilizing that North Texas transfer at quarterback. And, Morris is just throwing a very high volume, averaging 7.5 yards per pass attempt. They're averaging 560 yards per game. The Cavs have gone over in every game I said this season, so I'm just going to go over there with the Cavs and the Stanford Cardinal. What else we're looking at here? Give me Louisiana Tech here, laying the points. They look like an improved team. This Bulldogs defense has been really impressive, holding teams to 3 yards to carry, 6.3 yards per pass attempt. They're very competitive in that LSU game, covered that big number. Golden Eagles 3-9, the spread on the road. I'll take La Tech and lay the points there in that one. I like the over here with Georgia State and Vanderbilt. Georgia State really moving the football effectively. They're throwing the football. They are a very poor defensive team, giving 5 yards to carry, 8.5 yards per pass attempt. I think Vanderbilt will do a lot of the heavy lifting offensively. An effective running team at 6 yards to carry, 9.3 yards per pass attempt. And Panthers 4-2 the over on the road to the non-conference. Commodores 9-4 the over at home. I like the over in that game. And what else are we looking at? I'm going to take Baylor in this spot. I didn't like the way Arizona State looked on that road loss against Mississippi State. Sun Devils not been efficient in their passing game. Baylor has been, though. They're throwing for 368 yards a game, 7.8 yards per pass attempt. I'll look at Baylor in that spot. I can only lay it with Miami. I can't make a case for Florida in this spot. Florida's really having struggles putting points on the board. The quarterback play has been inefficient. You look at Lagway in his two games against FBS competition, 6.2 yards per pass attempt, threw a lot of picks in the last one, and they're averaging 13 points a game against FBS competition. Miami's just been outstanding. All the key data points, offensive and defensively, has been solid here for this Miami team. I'll lay it with them. Yeah, I like East Carolina, the home dog as well. BYU really hasn't mustered much of a passing game. ECU was competitive in that road game against NC State. NC State wasn't a revenge spot, but ECU got the money to the spread, and they're getting really good quarterback play this year as long as solid defensive play. So I'll look at East Carolina there. Yeah, it's hard to lay points with Texas. They're not covering. They're just not covering these big numbers, not against Utah. UTEP, they couldn't cover. They couldn't cover against San Jose State. So I'll go ahead and take the Sam Houston here to get the money here in this one. As a home favorite of 35.5 to 42 points, the Longhorns at home, 1-4 to the spread. So I'll look at Houston in that spot plus the points. What else are we looking at here? I'll take Colorado State plus the 5.5. UTSA pass defense. The concern here, they're going up 300 yards per game through the year, 9 yards per pass attempt. Fowler Nicolosi is an experienced quarterback there for Colorado State. You're also dealing with the high elevation there in Colorado State. UTSA's 2-6 for the spread on the road, following a home game. So I'll take the points there with Colorado State. And that one, matter of fact, Colorado State 3-1 of the spread at home, facing teams that are giving up 31 points per game or greater. I'll look at them in that spot. Give me the Cowboys of Wyoming plus the points against Dion. They're going back to Caden Salter at quarterback here. To be honest with you, he wasn't very good quarterback at Liberty. Did not have the accuracy. So Colorado, they don't know what to do at quarterback. They're shifting guys in and out. That seems like there's a little bit of chaos going on over there. Wyoming is defending the pass very well. They can make this an ugly game, holding teams to 4.4 yards per pass attempt. So I just look for an ugly game here in this one. I just can't back San Diego State. I don't like what I see from this program. They looked horrible in the loss to Washington State. And look what happened to Washington State when they went to North Texas. They got blown out. Cal has defended well. Say what you will about Ron Rivera as a head coach. Maybe as a general manager, that's his take. That's his call, right? He's a general manager of this team. Cal looks to be very sharp on the field when you watch them play. The Golden Bears 4-0 to the spread as a road favorite. I'll lay them in this spot here. And also to note, San Jose State, of course, being out here in Southern California, close to the program, they are having trouble selling season tickets. They're selling their season tickets are like 4,000 or 5,000. That's how bad it's gotten over there in San Jose State football program. It's more of a basketball school, obviously, with their success, but the football program doesn't draw much over there. Much has been said about this time slot for Michigan State and USC, but I like the over in this game. When you look at this USC program, they are just been efficient through the air. They did face Purdue. They got 31 on the road here. USC here is 3-1 the over at home, facing teams that average 5.9 yards per play. So the defense, we'll see how the defense handles Childs, an experienced quarterback that's been accurate this season. The Michigan State quarterback, 71% completion rate, 8 yards per pass attempt. It is a body clock game, 11 p.m. Eastern time for Michigan State, but I like the over in this one. I think we'll see points on both sides of the ball up there. I'll take Hawaii plus the 3. Hawaii has defended well, stopping the run. I'm just not a fan of E.J. Warner. And you look at E.J. Warner in his road starts in his career, 6.4 yards. Actually, his road starts this year, 6.4 yards per pass attempt, and he's thrown 5 picks in those 2 road games. Fresno State 2-4, the spread is a road favorite. Warriors 10-5, the spread at home. I'll look at Hawaii in that late night bailout game. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show as we'll turn our attention over to Major League Baseball. 16-game card as we have to make up the Guardians and the Twins will be in a makeup situation here. So let's take a look to see if we have any changes here in any of the starters here. I'm kind of going through the card to see what we have here. Sean Manaea has been named the bulk pitcher for the Mets. Mets to go with an opener as they host the Nationals and Jake Irvin there. Tyone will go for the Cubs today as they face Cincinnati and Abbott. Rain in the forecast as Padres are in Chicago, take the White Sox. Rain in the forecast in KC. Trey Yasevich will go for Toronto now. Yasevich coming off a very good opening start there for Toronto. He'll be the starter now for Toronto against KC. What else do we have here? I want to make sure I'm giving you the right day, right? Am I doing it? No, I'm not. I'm screwed up here, guys. Sorry. I gave you tomorrow's starters. That's what I screwed up. I knew something was wrong. All right, let me get this right again, guys. Sorry about that. I was giving you tomorrow's starters. Keita Montero will get the start for Detroit, facing Joey Wentz. So there you go on that one. McLean gets another start for the Mets, facing Washington and K. Cavalli. And what else do we have here? Any other changes? Let's see. Harrison going for Boston here to take on Hauser in Tampa Bay. Rain in the forecast in the White Sox game. Darvish and Gomez, they're 53% chance of rain. And that one, Noel Cameron was announced as a starter here for KC as they host Toronto and Shane Bieber. And let's see what we got here. Cleveland and Minnesota. Now in that doubleheader, what I have listed there, let's see what we got here in that doubleheader. We got Logan Allen and Joe Ryan in game 1. In game 2 of that doubleheader, we've got Slate Ciccone and Bailey Ober. So there you go. And that one. Chad Patrick has been announced as the starter for Milwaukee as they take on St. Louis, looking to bounce it back. And Aaron Nola will go for Philadelphia. He was a late addition there yesterday afternoon. And it'll be Kai Wing Tang getting the start for San Francisco at L.A., who clinched a wild card spot. I don't know if they're too excited about that, but I think they want to clinch that home field, by the way. Clinch the division is what they want to do. So I don't think there's much celebrating in Dodger Stadium after that wild card. They're not going to be like the Cubs and act like they won the NLCS for crying out loud. All right, there we go with baseball. So let's get to the 3 blocks of the first block will be the double headers. I think we'll cover there. So here we go, baseball here as we close out the regular season. So let me get the on screen up here. So let's get to the baseball for today. So in block 1, we got the Braves and Tigers, and Austin Riley right away is going to be out, as we know, with the AB, third baseman for Atlanta. Here we got the Braves here. It'll be the Tigers $1.15, total 9. Cleveland and Minnesota, game 1, we see here Minnesota $1.17. The total sitting here at 7.5. We'll cover game 2 in this block as well. In game 2, we see Minnesota $1.11, total of 8. And then we'll cover the Nationals and Mets. We see the Mets laying 255, total 8.5. Cubs and the Reds here. The Reds $1.11, total of 9. And then we'll close the block with Athletics. Pirates, boy, Athletics down 3-0 in that game. Came back and won it. So I'll tell you, this Athletics team, pretty feisty bunch over there. Got to give them some credit playing, with no home. Athletics $1.07 road favorites, a change of favorites in this game. Total sits here at 8. We start here with Chris.
Looking at this Atlanta-Detroit game here, Joey Wentz, not a big fan of that guy. I'm going to take getting a short price here for the Tigers as a favorite, minus 120, minus 115, depending on where we shop. There, I take the Tigers on the money line to bounce it back today. I don't think they get, hopefully not as bad as yesterday was. The Braves had a field day with them. But yeah, we'll take Kyler Montero there on the money line with the Tigers. Looking at both of these games, it's really the living versus the dead here, as we say, with the Guardians and the Twins. The Twins are already out of it. Looks like the Guardians are 1.5 games behind in the wild card race here. So I'm going to take the Guardians in both games to get it done. I think they've got a lot to try to get up in here and get done in that matchup. Looking at Mets and Nationals here, Cade Cavalli, Nolan McLean. That's one of their rookies, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. McLean, I think somebody had called up. I'd still take New York here. I'd take too much almost on the run line there, so that's kind of just a stay away. But picking a side there, Mets run line would be the way there. And then Chicago, I'm not a Zach Littell fan for the Reds, so I'm going to take Chicago on the money line here to get it done today against them. Littell gives up way too much. Way too many hits and home runs and things of that nature. So we're going to take the Cubs to get it done in Cincinnati today.
There we go. From Chris, say what I think about these games. Yeah, I'll agree here with Detroit here in this spot. Tigers have hit the ball well. Braves just 243 on the road, but Wentz over his past 7 appearances, ERA over 8. And Atlanta bullpen's also a question mark for me. And of course, you take Atlanta as a road dog this year, just 12-24, losing 9 units. At home against lefties, Tigers 13-7, returning 4 units. I'll take Detroit in that spot. I agree with Chris. I like both Cleveland in both games of the doubleheader. Cleveland in their past 28 games, ERA in the bullpen just over 3. You look at the Twins bullpen past, and their bullpens are going to be used in this doubleheader. Past 28 games, ERA nearly 6.5. And Guardians have won 13 of their past 17 games, returning 12 units. I'll take and they've been horrible. Minnesota's been horrible at home against the division, 9-13 at home against the division, losing 8 units. I'll take Cleveland both game 1 and game 2 in that one there. I look for a bounce here from the Mets. I like Washington yesterday, but I like the Mets today. Mets are hitting over their past 29 games, 273. Their bullpen is in the better recent form. The Nats here in their past 21 on the road, 9-12. The run line losing 7 units. So I'll look at the run line there with the mighty Mets. There, that Cubs-Reds game, I'll look at the Cubs way there. Assad has past 4 appearances, ERA of 3.66. Littell has past 6 starts, ERA over nearly 5. The Cubs bullpen in the better form. And as a road favorite at this price range, are 25-16, returning 6.5 units. The Cubs are playing for that 4th seed, which brings home field in all 3 games of the best of 3 wild cards here. So this is important games here for the Cubs. They just can't, they can have home field there in the wild card. 3 games there next week. 2 weeks, I should say. So I'll look at the Cubs. And now when I'm going to come back again with Athletics, I've been on them in every series here. Athletics, don't tell them they're out of it. I mean, these guys are playing for jobs. You look at the Athletics, 257 over their past 27. Bubba at home has not been very good, giving up 12 earned runs in 10 2/3 innings. The Athletics bullpen in the better form. I'll look here at Athletics in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show as we continue on here with Major League Baseball with the next series of games. So we'll get to the screen here to show you what we've got here from baseball for this next block. All right, in this block of games here in baseball, games we'll be covering here will be Yankees and Orioles. We see the Yankees here going to be laying at about 290 here, total of 9. And we'll cover also Boston and the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays made it hairy at the end. The Rays yesterday, $1.05, total of 8. Marlins and Rangers, that game went back. Rowdy gave them Rangers some life, but the Marlins are a pesky bunch, man. Rangers $1.50, total 8.5. We've covered the Guardians already, so we go to Toronto and the KC. Now in this one, we've got Toronto $1.31, total sits here 8.5. And then we'll close the block with the big one, Mariners and the Astros. There we see the $1.05 on both sides, total sits here at 7.5. So in this block, we'll start with Chris.
Let's see here. Definitely look at this Astros Mariners game there. I mean, you're getting pretty much coin flip price there. Framber Valdez at home. I'd rather have him. We know the significance of this game, and this series. So give me the Astros at home on the money line in that one. Looking at another one here. Give me where are we at here? Boston, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay just lost it for me yesterday. So I'm gonna take Boston today, see if they can't get it done once again in Tampa Bay here with Harrison on the bump. Miami and Texas. Yeah, Miami is a pesky little bunch there. Glad my guy got a 2-run shot there in the ninth, but didn't take him, didn't have him, but still did that. But I'd still take Texas in this one, the lighter at home. In that situation, a little bit more than what you want to lay, so do what you want to there, but if I had to lean aside, it would be Texas in that situation. And then let's see, New York, Baltimore. Oh my, Sagano, Rodon. I know it's at 9. I think we see some runs. I'd probably get up and over that. We know Sagano can get hit. We know Rodon can give up a few, so I think we get up and over that total.
There we go from Chris. Tell you what I think here about these games here. What are we going back here? Let's double check here. I want to make sure I've got my block correct here. All right, we're starting with a Yankee game, right? Yankee game here, the 7 Eastern time. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to take Baltimore again here at that big plus price. I just like the money there. New York here past 29 games, an ERA in the bullpen of over 6. They are 42-37 on the road, losing 6 units. Orioles have now won what they won yesterday. Went out 6 of 8 at home, returning 5 units. Give me that Orioles squad here to get it done again there. Let's see what else we have here. No, we're not covering that in this block. Yeah, I agree with Chris here. I like Framber and Houston to bounce it back. This is for the division. Well, not really for the division, but Seattle moved up a game ahead of them. But Kirby is on the road here. 10 road starts, ERA near 6. Valdez at home and ERA just over 2. Seattle here now what 14-21 in their past 35 on the road, losing 8.5 units. Home favorites here at this price range. Astros 24-19, returning a unit and a half. I'll take Houston in that spot. What else do we have here? That's all I got in this block, actually. So let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show as we continue our baseball coverage here. I think we're going to, this will be the final 5 on the block. So let's get the on screen up for you guys, and we'll see what we got for you guys here in this block. All right. In this block of games here from Major League Baseball, we will cover Padres and White Sox. Boy, the Padres, they looked dead yesterday at that White. How do you lose to the White Sox? Well, I think they're content here with that just getting into the playoffs, to be honest with you. Padres $1.63, total 8.5. Brewers and Cardinals. Brewers trying to stay ahead of Philadelphia for that 1 seed there. And it's the Brewers $1.35, total 8.5. Phillies and D-backs. It was an entertaining game yesterday out there. Arizona $1.11, total of 9. Angels and Rockies. Alessandro, don't lay the Angels on the road. We got the Angels here. $1.19 again, favorite again in this one. My goodness, total 11.5. Giants and Dodgers. LA had their eyes on division title still. They gained another game on the Padres yesterday. Dodgers 225. Giants trying to stay relevant in the wild card race, total 8.5. On over to Chris.
Yeah, looking at these here, especially if there's rain involved in San Diego and with the San Diego-Chicago game there, I take the under in that one. I'd still lean White Sox there. I think Padres have just kind of are coasting. They feel like they've got in here, and the White Sox are a little scrappy bunch here. And then Yu Darvish on the bump for Padres. So White Sox could be able to get to him as well, but with rain in there, I'd rather take the under in that situation. Looking at this Milwaukee-St. Louis, I think Milwaukee's going to run it back today. I mean, I don't know what happened yesterday, but you got Miles Mikolas from the Cardinals pitching. So I think the Brewers' run line they haven't been covering a lot of run lines lately, but it's Miles Mikolas. And I'd rather take the plus money with the run line with the Brewers today. I don't like that money line price at all. Colorado, gonna take Colorado at home. Getting plus money with them here. Angels on the road. Kyle Hendricks of all 2. I'm good on that. I don't think he should be favored at all. Looking at the Arizona-Philadelphia game there, Aaron Nola. He's a gas can. So give me Arizona on the money line at home. And then got to do Dodgers run line. I'm glad they got that done yesterday for Kershaw being his last game there. I think that was a bigger celebration, I feel like, than even anything with the playoffs there. So I was glad they got that done for him his last game in that one. But yeah, against Kawhi Tang here, give me the Dodgers on the run line. There
we go from Chris. Tell me what I think about these games. Yeah, I look for a bounce here from Milwaukee to get it done with Chad Patrick. Brewers have been hitting the ball pretty well. Cardinals is 222 in their past 27. I like the Milwaukee bullpen better recent form. And they're 15-4 as a road favorite in this price range. returning 10 units. I'll look at the Brewers in that spot. Yeah, I agree there. Give me Arizona here at home. Arizona actually, believe it or not, better hitting form. But Nola, look at his 7 road starts this year. ERA of 7, a personal record for Nola, 0-5 on the road. Wow. And his no decisions, they still lose. So Gallen in his past 5 starts here, ERA of 2. Why? He's got an expiring contract. I always tell you, keep an eye on these guys on expiring contracts. He's making $14 million a year. Probably got that phone call from his agents telling him, hey, you better close out strong. I'm not a miracle worker. I can't get you that $14 million if you're going to suck. So there you go. Diamondbacks 24-18 at home against winning teams, returning 4 units. I'll take Arizona in that spot. There's no way I'm going to lay Angels on the road as a favorite against even. It could be the worst team in baseball, like Colorado. I'm not going to lay it. Angels hitting just $1.95 over their past 28. The Rockies hit the ball well at home. Hendricks past 5 starts, ERA near 12. Both bullpens are bad form, but the Angels in their past 37 road games, 11-26, losing 9.5 units. That's all you got to know. Rockies now against these really bad teams at home, 5-3 at home, facing teams with a 380 to 480 win percentage, returning 3.5 units. Give me Colorado in that spot. I'll look at run line here with Dodgers. San Francisco not hitting right now, 145 over their past 7. LA has been hitting over their past 7, 285. Glasnow at home is where you want them. Made of glass now. ERA 2.38 at home. They're Giants to the run line, 5-3 to the run line, facing on the road, facing NL starter with an ERA of 3.2 or lower. That's a 5.5 unit loss against these bad starting pitchers from the NL with an ERA of 5.4 or higher. LA 4-2 the run line, returning 2 units. I'll take the run line LA. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Nixon Morning Shows. We got you covered for all the sports coverage that we do here. Chris and I do, at least. I know the W has a day off as we're getting ready for the games tomorrow. So it's been a pretty exciting WNBA playoff, if you ask me. And we got games tomorrow. Fever, Aces, Mercury, and Lynx. I'll just show the lines. We won't give any picks, but just to show you guys just the lines, just to be cordial there. Let's see what we've got in these games here. In the lines here, we see the Fever, Aces in game 1 tomorrow. It's a 3. My time frames here are Pacific, so it's 3 Eastern time. Aces and Fever. Looks like the Aces are going to be about a 9-point favorite there. A total 163. Aces the home team. Fever coming off that upset win to get in here. Mercury, well, they knocked out the champs. So it's Mercury and Lynx. Lynx are favored by 7 here. Total 158.5. So there's your next series. We're in the semifinal round of the WNBA playoffs. And then you see the numbers here for game number 1 playing tomorrow. 3 Eastern for game 1, 5 Eastern for game 2. That's your WNBA here coverage from us. All right, we got you through our sports coverage. Now it's time for our Parlay Pro segment where we give out our parlay, team player prop, game of the future. We make the call here, and we start off with Chris.
Yeah, give me East Carolina money line. Give me the Colorado Rockies money line, and I'll take Houston on the money line here as well, since it's an important game in that one. Your home run sleeper pick is actually somebody from the Rockies, one of those nobodies that nobody knows who he was, but he hit 2 home runs the other day. That's going to be Blaine Krim coming out of nowhere there and getting us some home runs, but he's decent money there for the Rockies, so we'll take him for a home run today.
All right, tell you what I like here in this 3. I'm going to give you some early 3s. I have no premiums in the noon Eastern slate, so I'll give you the early ones. I'll go ahead and lay it with TCU. I'll take it with Texas Tech, and I'll lay it here, that short road favorite with UNLV as they're against facing Miami, Ohio. All right, we got you through our Parlay Peripheral segment. Now it's time to see what we have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Heading into some pretty big coverage here, guys, of a lot going on over in the sports world today. We got Major League Baseball, as we talked about. We got college football rolling. But if you click the link in the description, that'll take you right over to our site over at Tony's Picks, where we have our best bets and more right on the site. Premium plays with documented results there. And, of course, we'll see what Chris has got for sale right now over at Tony's Picks for this fine Saturday card. And you'll see here Chris putting up some really, really good numbers here. Off to actually college football off to the flying start here, 640 units of profit in college football. Chris, what you got for sale?
I'm going to get you a 3-pack in the SEC today. In that, best bet 2 premiums there, so go snatch that up. We'll be adding some more baseball here, probably in a little bit, hopefully before game time starts here on a few of these. We can get some lines to put on there. But biggest thing today, of course, college football Saturday, so I got you the SEC pack there, doing pretty well in that so far this season. So we're looking to continue that here. Get something, short term, even 3 days, 7 days, whatever you guys want to do. A lot of line movements. Excuse me. But you guys like that weekend pass there. Get you everything I put in. You guys know I do college football, NFL, and baseball. So you'll get everything I put in for those for that package. And then 2-for-1 capper. You see who's on the leaderboard there. Pair us up. Let us go to work for you. 2 people putting money in your pocket makes a lot of sense. So hop on that and do that. A lot of people are hot right now. So get on board. And then I use the promo code, excuse me, Tony T at checkout, save you to 15% off of those. And yeah, let's just try to have a good day here in college football.
That's right. Get on board, Chris. Over at Tony's Picks, you see the great results from Chris based on $100 unit wager size. Verify all these plays right here on Chris's handicapper page. Ready to roll with college football. 3-pack there. College, also a best bet from college football here for Chris as well. And of course, long-term subscriptions is the way to go. There, get on board with long-term, especially with all these sports overlapping. We got Major League Baseball. Also have the college football, NFL, WNBA. So no better time to get on board with Chris with the long-term subscription. Remember, you get that monthly pass. Also includes NBA coverage, which begins in about a month. We're getting to hit it. I think maybe next week is when we get those media days, right? That's when the guys come in all dressed up. We'll see what Jimmy Butler looks like. So check him out. Get Chris on board on long-term subscription. Consider that 1 month all sports pass with Chris, and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save you that 15% off. All right. Got a best bet on the board right now from college football. Also a 3-pack coming off a best bet winner there. I'll be looking to get baseball in a little later for you as well. So get on board with me. Having a great year in Major League Baseball amongst the unit leaders. So get on board and use that promo code. All right, guys, are with you here every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. It is the Tony X Morning Show. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. If you happen to miss any of our live shows, just head on over to our YouTube channel, type in Tony's Picks in the search console, and in there you will find our content up there. A lot of great content on the YouTube. Of course, you can catch our live show. Just hit that live tab, our live show for you guys here. The happy hour, Rod hosts it, airs here 5 p.m. each time, Monday through Friday. You're on the show on the happy hour with Rod. Also on our channel, we have hit the video tab. A lot of great content up there. Chris with his home run videos. You want to see every game on the board? I give a deep dive. Well, that video is up there right now. So you can check the college football rundown from me. All 47 games there for you there in one video. So check it out there. Also, my deep dives from Major League Baseball, or of course, if you prefer, just most of you guys do, you just like to watch a compilation video there. Rod, we got Ron Cropper with his KBO overnight. Need some action overnight? Well, just check out our KBO release about 8 Eastern time, because this game's go off middle of the night here in the U.S. So check that out. El Nino's comes in with his dog of the day. I got 3 early NFL picks for you there with some deep dives NFL. So check that out as well. So we got you covered here over on the Tony Picks YouTube channel with lots of great content. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Also, our shorts tab here. We've got El Nino's there with a short plays up there for you as well. Brian Biller also contributes. So a lot of great content over on the Tony's Morning Show, Tony Speaks YouTube channel, I should say. Of course, Chris, your home run hit list has been very popular.
Yeah, it's been pretty popular, especially the past couple of days. A lot of comments, a lot of people going back and forth there as far as what we like and everything, helping the community out each other. So I appreciate that. Keep that coming. I got you guys 5 or 6 today. I forget how many. I know I put a bunch out there for you so far, and then I'm going to put some more in the comments. So make sure you have your notifications turned on. You're checking that back there. But yeah, make sure you hit the share, like, all that, and get it up there. We've been hitting almost over 800 views for that, so it's been wonderful as we wind down here. But it's been harder to catch these guys. You're having a lot of people that should show up that don't, and a lot of people you don't know who are showing up. So we're going to keep doing it. I appreciate everybody's support and everybody's like for it. And I've got some merchandise. I don't know, just somebody, some guys, maybe some hats. And anyway, so it seems to be pretty popular. So I'm glad we could do that for the community. And check out everybody's videos, Al Nino's and his dog thumbprint there. That's awesome. And then, yeah, check out all the content we've got over there as well with the college football. I listen to that as he puts it out. So it's good stuff there. Check it out. Give us a thumbs like up, thumbs up, all that stuff. And just keep building the channel up here.
That's right, guys. Check us out over on Tony Picks YouTube. Lots of great content up there. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. All right, that'll do it for the show. Back in tomorrow. NFL on the board. I think there's 14 games for the Sunday, so make sure you check us out. We also have baseball coverage, the 2 from the WNBA as well. Chris, anything in closing before we close it out?
Don't parlay, guys. Just try to keep them straight. Don't chase that generational wealth.
That's right. Just play it straight. That should those put the odds greatly in your favor. No doubt about that. That'll do it for the show, guys. We'll wake up out, guys. You guys make it a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony Picks Morning Show.